Here we have a formula for Fahrenheit temperatures. So we've got two scales. We've got more than two scales actually of temperature. But here, ones that you may be familiar already are centigrade and Fahrenheit. And they both measure temperature, and they both have different scales, and you can actually convert one to the other. So, say given, say 100 degrees Celsius or centigrade, you can work out what the Fahrenheit equivalent would be by substituting C equals 100 in here. So you get 9 on 5 times 100 plus 32. And you know that 5 into 100 goes 20, 9 20 is 180, plus 32 is 2 112. So 100 degrees Celsius is exactly the same as 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, that's all good, and you could work out any other equivalent. But what happens if we want to work out a formula for centigrade or Celsius? We want to make C what they call the subject of the formula, or make it into C equals. So it's a little bit like solving, in this case, linear equations. Here's our starting point, and we just want to get that C by itself eventually. We're going to have to undo it bit by bit. So what we would do first is to isolate, just like we're solving equations, we would isolate that term by itself. Now, if we're going to isolate that term by itself, we can leave it on the right hand side here. We've got to take 32 from both sides. So we get F minus 32 equals 9 on 5C. Okay, now that is an entity in itself, so we might put brackets around that. What have I got to do to this 9 on 5C to get C by itself? We could think of it in a couple of ways, but the way I'd like you to think about it, if I was to multiply 9 on 5 by another fraction, I want everything to cancel. So I want the 5's to cancel, so I'll put the 5's there, and I want the 9's to cancel. Okay, so we've started with that, and I want to multiply that, so I just get C by itself, because you can see that 5 and 5 once, 5 and 5 once, 9 and 9 once, 9 and 9 once. So I'm just left now with C. But if I've multiplied by 5 on 9 here, I've got to multiply by 5 on 9 on the left-hand side as well. And I think you know that we don't normally write that multiply, but I'm just showing you that we're multiplying. We're doing the same thing to both sides, so our equation will balance. So we just say that that's 5 on 9 F minus 32. So there's a way to come up with an equation for centigrade, given that you've got Fahrenheit. So it should work on 212. It should bring us back to 100. Let's see if it does. So if F equals 212, we are hoping it's going to bring us back to 100 degrees Celsius. C equals 5 on 9, 212 minus 32 equals 5 on 9. 212 minus 32 is 180. 9 once, 980 goes 20, 5 times 20, 100 on 1, which is equal to 100. So, given Fahrenheit, we've now been able to work back. It just doesn't work for those two, it works for all degrees. It's just the example I've shown there. So need to be really good at rearranging formula. It's a little bit like solving equations. Whenever you do to one side, you do to the other. Isolate the term that you're trying to find, and it should all work out from there.